I guess we could put stuff on the table so we talk about stuff.
Yeah, we'll go through everything.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Cindy
And Christine
with Candles and Supplies, and today we're doing Soap Colorants 101.
So last week we did Melt and Pour 101. Give a little intro to that,
Mhm.
and then what's better than colorant for soaps. So
Exactly. So thank you for joining us
Next step.
today. Give us a shout out in the chat so we know you're there and everything. So make sure everybody can hear us and that type of thing. Let me put the chat on my screen here. If you have any questions, make sure to post them in the chat as well.
Yeah, we'll go over through all the questions at the end.
Yeah.
We'll post them in as we go, though, so you don't forget them.
Exactly. So, all right.
All right, so we're going to talk a little about cold process and hot process and melt and pour today.
Actually, this is like skincare colorants. Things
Sure,
for all
we can
types of
expand
skincare. Yeah,
a little more
yeah.
into the skincare.
Because it goes into lotions and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
But navigating your way through soap making and colorants and this and that, and there's liquids and there's micas and there's natural colors and what do you
Clays
use?
and everything else.
Yeah, what
a
do you
lot
use?
going on.
When do you use them? So we're going to go through each one today, show you some different examples and stuff like that, and that way hopefully demystify some of this soap colorant puzzle. So, all right.
Let's start with clays.
Oh, I love clays.
Yes.
So
So we'll start with clays. So clay are good for
what are they first? What are
clay? I mean, they're naturally derived from the earth. They're pretty much just dirt. Just
Yeah,
good for us.
exactly.
So we have a lot of different kinds of clays depending on where they're from and kind of like what they're good for. We have an entire clay chart on the website too if you're looking for things.
It tells you what
Specifically?
it does for your skin and stuff like that. So
Yeah, they're good for. All right, so can we go for what they're good for now?
yeah.
All right, so you can use them in cold and hot process, and you can use them in melt and pour. You can use them. I guess you can use them in lotions and stuff too.
I'd say any wash off product because
you
it's
don't
gonna
want to like stick.
it'll be tacky on your skin and stuff like that. So masks.
Masks are
masks and
lovely
everything,
for it.
so,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the main for soap colorant. So obviously they're clays. They're natural, so they're not super vivid in color.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit of a downfall for
Give
them.
you no, it's not. It gives you soft,
It's a
nice,
natural,
beautiful colors. So if
natural
you
color.
if you are very earthy and natural, you
Yeah.
would love these colors. So
Yeah. So, but I mean, if you're looking for a big, vivid, bright color, clay, they're not it.
yes,
So,
exactly. But we have
but,
some like
Yeah.
French green. You can see. You guys can't see on Instagram. Sorry. We have to put the camera like a
Way
mile
far,
away.
yeah.
But we have green. It's a soft green. We have a yellow. We have a red, a pink. There's also other ones out there that we don't necessarily carry and stuff. There's like purple, this, that, whatever. They get to be quite pricey and somewhat hard to find. But clays are fun to experiment with and stuff like that.
So another bit, natural. So if you want to make a natural soap,
Mhm.
natural whatever,
Mhm.
they're natural. So they're all good for that. They add a nice slip to your soap when you put them in there. So it gives you a little more of like a, I don't even know how to describe it.
I don't. Yeah. It just adds a little.
Yeah, like when you have clay
Mhm.
between your hand, you have it wet, and it does it has a slip to it. So it adds that to your soap. The colors don't migrate between them. So
Right.
you can
So you can layer.
Yeah, you can layer. You can do
Layer them
multiple
together.
Oh, Marty's is a little bit open. I got some on the table. So one of the biggest properties of clays too is they draw out impurities and are detoxifying.
Mhm.
So if you want to put that in your soap for that type of benefit, I mean, obviously it's not going to be super since it is a wash-off product. It's more for like masks, but definitely add some element in there.
I think it makes your skin really smooth too. So
Mm.
like when you use the clays and it has that, it makes your skin like it
Yeah, you
tightens
do
up
have
your
that,
pores.
yeah.
So as it draws out the impurities and toxins,
Mhm.
it tightens up your pores and makes your skin like super soft. So
So that's super nice.
one thing, as far as which ones to use, I like using the French clays or kaolin clays because if you use things like bentonite clay or Fuller's Earth clay, what it does, that draws out so much moisture and it soaks up so much that it's like gonna dry out your soaps and stuff. So like
Yeah.
the French and the kaolins are best.
Yeah, you
to use as
definitely.
coloring.
That's one thing because you have to be a little bit careful,
Mhm.
because since they are like they do draw, that
Mm-hmm.
it can take some of the oils and essentially make your soap could like crumble and get
Right.
like hard and dry.
You just need a
So
little
just a
goes a
little bit.
long way. Little
Yeah.
goes a long way.
But clays are a great option.
Yes, they are a great option. So moving right along, what do we have next?
Let's go into the natural colorants since we're on the
Ooh,
natural
okay.
mode here.
Sounds good.
All right. So natural colorants are obviously naturally derived from other like products in that aren't clays around. So some examples of like a natural colorant would be spinach powder, tomato, indigo, beetroot, carrot, charcoal. Going through a lot of those really fast.
Right. Right.
But they're all have like the little they tend to be a little bit more vivid than the clays, just because they're not dirt. So I mean, like, look how alkanet root. Look how like dark that is. Like that's a nice one. Indigo.
They will soften up in
Beautiful.
your product though.
Yeah.
So even though like alkanet looks really dark and stuff like that, like super, super dark, by the time you put it in your product, it is lighter.
Yeah.
So they do soften up.
Yep. So they're good for cold, hot process, melt and pour. Would you use them in lotions and stuff or no?
You could, but so the naturals like this, keep in mind they're dyes. So if you put them in, if you use this in like a lotion and you put it on a leave-in product, it takes a chance of maybe you turning
So
purple.
right, so you could dye
Alkanet
yourself
color, yeah,
potentially.
yeah, exactly. So you do have to keep that in mind. So, but keep your mind open when thinking about natural colors and everything too. So like, oranges, if you dehydrate oranges and stuff like that and then grind them up, you have nice like orange. It's exfoliating,
Right.
and it adds a little bit of an orange tint to it. You could, dry lemons,
fruits,
you could,
right,
limes. Keep your mind open for natural colorants like anything, and especially, things that tend to, like beets. I want to use beets as an example because anytime you touch them, you turn red and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So beets are great for water-based products just because they dye so nicely, but there's tons of like flowers and herbs and everything out there that will dye different colors. One of my favorites butterfly pea. So butterfly pea flowers actually,
flower.
yeah, they're expensive. Butterfly pea flowers will actually give you like a nice purple color. It could give you a blue color. If you add a little bit, of acid to it, like vinegar or something, it'll turn a pink color. So that's another thing you have to be aware, like on natural colors, be aware of the pH of your product too. If it's too much different than like 7, too high, too low, your colors may morph a bit. We'll get it more into this. We'll do an example on our Micas, but keep that in mind too. So if you're doing, say you're doing a facial toner and you want to put something in beetroot powder or something like that, just to make it a little bit of pink. So a facial toner, if you use any type of apple cider vinegar or anything like that, so it may take the color right out of it. So keep the pH in mind when you're doing your products. Typically pHs are around 7 on skincare products, but soap can be a little higher, toners can be a little lower.
Right. And then with like cold and hot process soap, you have to be aware of the sponification process, which can
True.
kind of morph colors by itself. So
True. Yep, exactly. So hot process soap, they work great because the alkali change is already done.
Yeah.
So by the time you add them, they don't morph, they don't lighten up as much either. So yeah, they do tend to, they bleed a little bit too. Again, they're dyes. They're gonna dye things so that they may bleed into each other. So if you're going for like very distinct color lines, it's probably not the choice that you'll want to make. You'll want to use a Micas, a pigment versus a dye, but it will give you nice soft colors. Like you'll have nice soft colors in there. So the naturals, but yeah, they're fun. Keep your indigo is the only blue. So, and it's like a darker blue too. None of them are going to be like super bright colors.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, the naturals. That's how you
wouldn't
know
find
it's
that in
natural.
Earth.
Yeah. It's super vivid. It's probably not natural.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Next.
Micas.
Okay. So these are very popular. So Micas. Yeah, I couldn't carry everything at once. So Micas come in lots of bright. Again, it comes from the earth. It's dug up, but then it's like
Enhanced.
synthetically enhanced to have beautiful colors.
Kind of like fragrance
You won't
oils.
see this in the earth. It's not going to happen. Yeah, like fragrance oils. It starts out with
I
something.
might be
natural.
alarmed if I saw this like neon pink somewhere in like
Yeah, me
nature. I feel like that's
These
like all
are
those
just some colors.
all the things that are super bright are usually poisonous. Like the frogs and stuff that are crazy colors,
True.
they're always poisonous. So.
That's true. But they come in all kinds of different colors. So
Yeah.
these are probably our most popular choice for coloring. And they work in just about everything. If you're using, they're a powder itself. So we'll open one up here. I have a blue, it's unmarked, so I'll typically use my classroom examples. So they're a powder. Guys, Instagram guys can see that. They're powder. So when you put that in like any kind of oils or anything like that, it tends to clump. Kind of like making gravy. If you have to add the gravy to your cornstarch. Otherwise, if you just add your cornstarch in there, you'll have all kinds of clumps. So it helps if you disperse it a little bit, no matter what you're doing. So if you're doing, your cold or hot process soap, disperse it in a little bit of your oils first, and that way it'll mix in nicer for you. If you're doing melt and pour soap, you can disperse it in a little bit of glycerin.
Or fragrance oil.
Yeah, I usually do it in glycerin, and just because
It's glycerin soap.
Yeah, it just adds a little bit of glycerin to it. So, but you could disperse it in your fragrance too. But you want to disperse it so you don't get those little
Yeah, you can definitely
pigment freckles in there too.
It clumps. We have like really nice little like mini mixers too. Disperse it in the oil just to mix it in really well, so it's just a nice smooth application in there. Versus, it definitely does clump, especially if you're in like hot process or something that's like thick. And you don't disperse it, you're definitely getting clumps and stuff.
So these are pigments too. So these are not dyes, these are pigments, so they'll stay on you. So I don't typically recommend these for leave-on products like lotions and creams and stuff like that. That would be better with like a dye if you want to dye it colors, because what will happen once your lotion, you put, even if this is colored just slightly blue and it looks beautiful and it's like a speechy kind of fragrance in your lotion, you put that on, your lotion goes into your skin and the blue pigment is still on top. So mostly wash-off products. They work great in and everything.
Yep, you use melt and pour, cold and hot process. Yeah.
Yep. One thing when you are doing cold and hot process, you always want to test your colors for stability, right? Because whether it's natural colors, whether it could be clays, it could be this, it could be micas, it could be orange peels, whatever it is, you want to test it for stability, right? Because you're adding the lye solution, the water lye solution, that's got a super high alkali, which tends to destroy colors. A lot don't, so a lot of micas are, alkali stable and stuff like that. But I'll show you how. It's very easy to test it. So rather than, I learned this by trying to do like this intricate swirled soap, and I had this color pattern in mind, and it was like awesome, and I did it and it looked great, and I looked at it the next day and it was like orange and brown and tan, and I'm like, what the heck went wrong? So I blamed the fragrance oil. So I tried a different fragrance oil, did the same thing. Here it was the color that was like morphing and stuff like that. So, but I'll show you how to do it. This one is my test victim for all colors. So I'm going to go grab gloves. I forgot to grab gloves because I am working with Lye Solution and stuff, and want to always make sure you have gloves.
Do you need a little mixing? You got a mixing thing?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so you can just get like a little dish or something like that. A little mixing spoon, something to mix it with. Christine, you can put a little bit in there. Can I see that on there?
Nope, but I will hold it.
This is like a magic trick.
Wait till I see this.
Yeah,
Like half.
you only need a little bit.
Less than that. That's good. All right. Well, here we go.
Here's our magic trick for the day. Yeah. So you see, right now this is a beautiful green color, right? Everybody sees it's green.
That's how it was.
Green. It is green. You're all proof it's green, right? If I add a little bit of my Lye solution, and this is just something I keep around. I always keep just a jar of Lye solution to test these colors. I can't get the lid off, but
whoa. Let's put it on there really tight last time. What is that?
Hey, Crew Scooby. I don't know. Oh, man. All right. Try it. My gloves are sliding.
Nope, that's on there good. That's on there
Sometimes
good.
I don't know. Okay, so we're going to make up a little Lye solution just because this one doesn't want to be deep. You get a whole thing of Lye in here. Did you? It's right here. You get that way.
Oh.
Okay.
Lye.
So we're just going to make up a little Lye solution here.
Do you need another container?
I do. That would be lovely. I don't even really need to measure this because we're just testing for soap stability. Beautiful. Just going to put a little bit of Lye in here. Just add a little bit of water. Normally, I would tell you always add your lye to your water, but this is just for test purposes, so we're not doing a whole lot of it. Mix it up. All right, and that's enough. You don't have to be super exact. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of this lye solution on the green. I'll hold it because I have the gloves. Yeah. So here's my magic trick. And look, now I have a beautiful gold color. So this means that,
oh yeah,
yeah, turned beautiful gold. So this means that if I use this color in soap, this was my color that I was going for, like green and brown and like earthy kind of fall. Yeah, it turns gold. So you want to test your colors before you use them, like no matter what it is and stuff like that, just to make sure it's going to be stable. And this is just in cold process. So melt and pour soap, it's already saponified. You don't need to test your colors or anything like that. So
what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. It's nice and easy. So.
Oh, another thing about colors, we talk more about candles than we do with soap, but you can always add more. You can't take away.
True.
So
that's true.
it's definitely
Yeah.
more of a thing.
So with the colors, yeah, start out lightly. You can always add more and stuff like that. So, but that is Micas.
Where's your tray here? There we go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then last but not least, one of the funnest things ever of all are liquid soap colors. And these come in like a menagerie, a big menagerie of different colors. We got a whole bunch of fun new colors in, just because you can never have enough color. So liquid colors, they start out as like DNC dyes. So these are DNC dyes. What DNC is drug and cosmetic. So they are made for the drug and cosmetic industry. Different than food coloring. So food coloring is FDNC. FDNC means food, drug, and cosmetic. So a lot is the same. But what happens when you buy food colorings, it's watered down so much that it's no longer strong. So if you use food colorings in your skincare products, you're going to be adding the whole darn bottle. Whereas this is super concentrated, like 1 or 2 drops will do it. And you would just add this. You can add it right into your melt and pour soap. You can add it into your lotions. You can add it into any type of liquid bases, liquid soaps, hand soaps, anything like that.
Why can't we put it in cold and hot process soap?
Why? Yes, you could put it on cold and hot process soap theoretically, because you can put it in the water phase. Add it to your water and stuff like that. But let's see what happens here. I haven't tested all these. Some of these may not morph, but I'm assuming they will, because usually the DNC dyes always want to morph in the soap and change colors and stuff like that. So we will try this, or they just disappear and don't do anything. So this is, what color is this? Is that
strawberry ice?
Our strawberry ice color.
One of our new
So
colors.
this is our strawberry ice in like a white product and then a clear product. So if I add a drop of strawberry ice to my lye water, this without making a mess, so we can see what happens. So we can test this as well, because maybe this is the soap stable for cold process. Maybe it won't be.
There's spoons inside.
I know, spoon got sucked up. So I added 1 drop here. So theoretically 1 drop should look like that other clear base, but see what happened? It did morph in color. It turned a bit orange. Yeah. You can still use it, but you're going to get this orange color and not that pink color. So if you're making, like a raspberry soap and want that pink color, this is probably what you're going to, it's definitely what you're going to get in your soap, because that's what it did in lye. So again, it works, but you just want to test it. But yeah, these are fun. So all these colors, the liquid colors, the micas, everything, you can mix and make your own shades too. You can definitely do that. That's fine.
Yeah. Another thing I like about these too is you can add more or less drops too.
True.
So you got a little more variety with these, I think, than
right.
trying to, and measuring wise too. 1 drop versus did I fill this scoop of mica more or less than I did last time?
Yeah, mica, since it's a powder, it's hard to measure.
A little hard to measure.
Even if you do grams.
Yeah. I don't know.
These come in dropper tops, so it's easier to use the droppers and stuff. So those are nice that way. And if you're, working with kids and stuff and making melt and pour soap, or, just a fun project, something that you're doing at night or whatever. Like these are so easy to use. Literally, they come in little squeeze bottles and just.
It'll
use them
last
in
you
your
a
stuff.
long time too.
Oh yeah, low goes a
like
really
this
long
is-
way.
Yeah, it'll last you a very long time. Whereas
Yeah.
Mica, you're definitely gonna go through a lot quicker.
Yes, Mica
Than,
you
like,
use
this
more.
thing.
So yep, that is true. So.
Should we go through some of our new colors?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Get
so that
some
was
fun
the
ones.
strawberry ice that we showed you that did the change.
Yeah, and then
Another one. Let's pick a random one.
let's pick a let's do Orchid. I've been really into this
Orchid.
Orchid color. So Orchid again in a white base, it's very subtle. And then in the clear base, it's a little more vivid. So we could, like in the white base, we could add more. That was just 1 drop and 1 ounce of product and gave it like that nice orchid color. If we wanted a deeper orchid color, we could add more and get a little bit deeper if we wanted to. So, but what you see is what you get. It mixes in nice too because it's all liquid, so it just mixes in
Yeah, you
and
don't have
blends
to worry
real
about
nice and
clumping
stuff like
or
that
anything
too.
like that.
One thing you don't want to do, people like, because when you mix it in, it swirls and looks really cool. But keep in mind, those cool swirls that you see are actually concentrated dye in there. So when you actually use the product,
You're gonna dye yourself.
yeah, exactly. You'll be like Easter egg color. So you won't dye yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a liquid product, it's gonna kind of all merge anyways.
True.
Soap, it wouldn't, but.
True.
All right.
What other fun colors do we have?
Purple Magic.
Yes. Yeah. So the purple was really pretty. It commanded more of a name than just purple. So we called it Purple Magic. Yeah.
And it's lighter than our violet that was our normal one.
Yeah.
I know that's a very intense color.
Yeah. We renamed some of our soap dyes. They're super manufacturing grade, so they are so strong they're almost unusable, especially the purple, because like you just have to think about adding color. So they're labeled on our site as extreme dyes.
So those are all.
A lot of big. If you're doing 100 pounds of soap and you want to use a few drops, those are great for that. If you're just doing a few bars of soap, then
Yeah.
you know.
So those are all our OG soap dyes. Like I know if you have bought soap dyes before those all the extremes are the same ones. We just put that in there to differentiate them from these new ones.
Correct.
So, but they're very intense. You had a fun time with naming this one too.
I did.
She had a really good time naming these.
Yeah, they came with such boring names, so they needed something funner. So this one is basically like a brownish color, but I'm super into crystals, so it reminds me of tiger's eye, like in the clear base. It reminds me of tiger eye crystals, so I named it tiger's eye.
Tiger's
because
eye.
Tiger's eye is brown like that, so that was
I
fun.
almost dropped it.
It's unforgettable too. Like when you're like you hear tiger's eye, so you're not going to forget what color that is. So yeah.
This one, we definitely questioned the name on this one.
Yeah.
Shrimp.
Keep in mind, I had seafood the night before.
I'm like, okay,
And-
all right, if you want to do
Yeah,
that.
it's shrimp color.
It's not made out of shrimp. There is no shrimp
No.
in these. It's just shrimp colored.
It's like the you peel them shrimp color. That's the color
You
it is.
peel.
It's
I
shrimp.
should have called them you peel shrimp.
That's over the top. Yeah. Shrimp something. But yeah, it's like a peachy orange color. So
All
shrimp
right.
sounds much better than peachy orange. Kind of gross.
Next is a blue.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
Starlight blue.
Starlight
so
blue.
this reminded me of the color of the sky is like in the summer, when there's lots of, stars and stuff like that and everything. And that blue is just kind of like coming out at you. It reminds me, I call it starlight blue. That's what it reminded me of. So.
I like this one's name too.
Yeah. And then this one. This is a fun
Kiwi.
color. It's kiwi. It's a kiwi color.
It is
so,
a kiwi color.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also kind of reminds me of key lime pie too.
It
Like,
does.
this is like a key lime pie-ish color.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. But kiwi's different. We need a kiwi candle scent because it'd be fun. Even though this is so
strawberry.
We do, but just plain kiwi
Just
would be
plain
awesome.
kiwi. Okay.
Yeah. And inspired me to get a kiwi. It's this one.
Coral.
Coral. Yeah.
That's a
this is
nice-
it's a
color.
pretty color. These are great shades for like
Mhm.
spring, Easter, Mother's Day, everything like that.
Yeah.
You can make them darker. So like in the fall, we redo this again in the fall, you'll probably see them a lot more intense. We'll use like 3 or 4 drops instead of 1 drop.
Yeah. And then we
I'm
did like
super into the pastels for
some
spring.
of the pinks and reds look a little bit similar, but you put them next to each other, they're definitely different. So hopefully the pictures must come out. I might do a comparison on the pictures and have like the side by side so you kind of see
That's a good
if
idea.
you're looking for. Watermelon.
Looks like watermelon.
I thought watermelon a little bit darker, but I mean,
You just have to add more.
oh, okay. I also don't eat watermelon, so I mean, maybe, I don't know. Peach.
Yes.
This is it's a
classic
true peach.
It is peach.
That is
It's
peach.
peach as peach can be. Yep.
Kind of reminds me of peach yogurt.
It does, yeah.
I kind of love peach yogurt.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
This is a fun one too.
Sapphire. Again, crystal.
Look at
sapphire.
look how vivid this is.
Yeah. At one drop. That's only one drop.
One
in there.
drop.
Gives you that cool, pretty color.
Yeah.
Colors are so much fun.
They are fun. And you can mix and match and everything too. Let's do another blue.
Let's, aqua. Looks like aqua to me. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
This one, yeah, that's
Taking
a little
aqua.
bit different
Pretty.
tint to it.
So this is like if you do like a beachy theme, say your business is like beach themed or whatever, you're doing like a beach theme for the summer for your markets in the summer and stuff, and you want different, you have scents that remind you of blue. There's lots of different blues that you can choose to differentiate your products, which is nice. So
Yeah,
that way it
lots
looks
of
a little
blues.
different.
This one was popular in your class.
Yeah, the cyan.
Yeah, the Cyan. There was a lot of people that wanted to buy this after the Meltport class last
Yeah.
week.
Reminds me of the cyan toners that you put in your printer. So it's the exact same. That's where that
kind of
came
boring,
from.
but
I know. Yeah, it was, but that's what came to my mind. Oh, this one's a good one. Calendula.
This looks a lot like exactly
It's
like
just
a calendula color. Yeah.
Calendula is kind of like a dandelion, but it's right over there. So natural calendula. Yeah. Looks like
Pretty
calendula.
similar.
Yeah.
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fun one too.
Flamingo.
Flamingo.
Yeah.
I just saw a news article popped up. I didn't click on it about like some flamingo that escaped like a zoo in like Kansas or something, and they found it in Texas like 17 years later. I don't know. I could get the state. I'm not sure exactly which zoo it was, but it was very far away, and it was found in Texas like recently, 17 years. I didn't know that's how long flamingos live a long time. Apparently.
Birds live a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was probably cold in Kansas. And
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Flamingos are always
That's,
worth
yeah.
but yeah.
I didn't click on
That
the
color
story.
just reminded me of flamingos because every
It
time
does.
I see
It's
flamingos
bright
in
and
pictures,
flamingo.
yeah,
It's flamingo color.
it's flamingos to me.
It's a nice. It's also an intense
Magenta,
color.
yeah.
I like some of the
classic
vivid colors. They're
Ah.
fun.
They are.
Magenta. We're almost there. There's a lot of these, but I think they're all very pretty. So
They are. We obviously needed them all. Sky blue. So this is the sky during the daytime.
daytime sky.
Daytime
skylight.
sky. Starlight blue
Starlight,
is
yes.
at night. It's like daytime when the clouds are out and the sky's blue. It's very vivid, but at nighttime it's darker. And, yeah. All right, next, pink icing.
Pink icing.
That reminds me of pink icing. We had somebody brought donuts. I think it was
Ooh.
FedEx or something. They brought donuts and it had the pink icing on there. I'm like, wow, that's the same color that I just put
Yeah,
in
it's
that,
true. This really
that white-
is. Yeah.
that white base. So yeah, that's where that came from. It's weird how like different things can inspire you in different times. So this one is black cherry.
Yeah.
If
it's
you
like
think
a
of, like,
black cherry color.
Dr. Pepper, that's a black cherry.
Black cherry ice cream too. Isn't that a
Black
thing?
cherry ice cream, yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of black cherry. This one's fun.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah. Mint leaf. So this is your classic mint green. Very mint green.
Goes well with
I
our
love that
classroom
color.
colors.
Yeah. It does look like our walls.
All right, 2 more, and then we'll go through questions. Oh wait, that's calendula. Where did I get that one? How'd that get back over there?
Because I had to. All right. Cotton candy pink.
Cotton candy
It's all
pink.
that remind you. Yep. Cotton
It
candy pink.
is. All right. Well, over here, let's start with
Okay.
questions.
Let's do questions.
All right. Scrolling.
These are also a lot less expensive than Micas too. Micas tend to be a little on the pricey side. So. Any colors, it's always good to have red, blue, and yellow. They're your primaries. You can mix anything from that.
Can you
So
mix? Yeah. Can you mix the colors to make a unique color? Yes.
absolutely, anything you
For
can
any of
mix.
them.
Be
Yep.
creative. Yeah, mix it. Be creative and stuff. That's the funnest part.
So these would be good for lotions or leave-on products. Sorry, I have a lot of background noise. It's hard to hear. I'm assuming the liquid soap dyes.
Yeah.
Yep. So liquid soap dyes are good for like the lotion, leave-on products, melt and pour. Any of the
usually leave-on
liquid
products,
soaps.
you don't see them colored real dark.
No, not too much.
They always just have a subtle color. Yeah,
Mhm.
it differentiates your product. So if you see your product, imagine your products like on a box store shelf, and it's all your products there, and you want to differentiate each scent. You'll just color them a little bit for the leave-on products. Soap you can make a little darker because it colors a little easier, especially if you're using clear like this. But if you have like a whole bunch of pump bottles of liquid soap and you put that in, it'd be cool to have all the different colors. So really separates your fragrance offerings.
How would you use the dyes to make a gray or a black color?
Oh, excellent question. Gray or black? So that's difficult. If I was making gray or black, I would use activated charcoal.
Yeah, that's definitely the easiest.
I believe the charcoal is pretty darn near water soluble if it's not water soluble. Yeah, and that would do gray or black. So think again, like if it's a wash-off product or a leave-on product, wash-off product's fine, but a leave-on product, if you want gray or black, it's probably not a good idea because then your skin may get very dark and
You don't want to dye your customers.
No, yeah. So
yeah, but any like soap or wash off again.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't think it can. Usually, when you mix a lot of colors together, you get browns.
Yeah.
Different shades of browns, but nothing really makes black. Black is
no,
black is black. Yep.
Do I get the questions on your Facebook?
Yeah, sure. Look at my questions here. Let's see. Connie's on, Cheryl's on, Jean's on. It's bright and happy people. Connie says that Flamingo story is true. She heard it too.
Yeah, see,
So,
it like popped up on
yeah.
my Facebook here. I didn't like
Hello
look
from
into
New
it,
Jersey.
but I thought it was interesting.
Sarah's on, John's on. No questions on mine.
Good. So that just means we were really good at explaining everything. Since there was no
Exactly.
questions, right?
Yeah, we'll continue to monitor the post though. So if you have any questions, even if you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, didn't make the live, post your questions in there and we'll get them answered for you. So, but have fun with colors. Colors are a whole lot of fun to play with and stuff. So brings your product to a whole new dimension.
Yeah, stands it out.
Mhm.
Stand out some. And
Yep.
Own unique creativity and style.
Exactly. So, alrighty.
All right.
Well, thank you everybody for sharing your Wednesday with us and coming out to see us, and we surely appreciate it. So
We'll see you guys next week.
see you next week for another action fun-filled adventure of our live streams. Should we tell them?
Yeah, we can tell them what we're doing next
Yeah.
week.
So next week we are doing how to double wick your candles. So
There are
everybody
a
always asks
lot
that.
of questions on that.
Yeah,
On sizing and where to
We
place
get
them.
tons and tons
everything.
of calls on how to get them even, this, that, whatever, when to double wick, when not to double wick, when is a good idea, when's it a bad idea. So we're going to go through all that next week for you. So that'll be super fun.
Yeah, wicks are always a big question. So
They are.
whether it's single
Yep.
wick, double wick, whatever
Wick
it is.
mysteries.
Wicks are hard. Yep.
Yep.
All right. We'll
Alrighty.
see you guys next
Sounds
week.
good. Thanks for joining us. Have a good week.